So today we are talking about compliance again. It's a compliance framework that comes from the UK. So the beautiful title of our webinar is Cyber Essentials and IT Security, how NinjaOne helps you achieve certification. And I am super excited that we have some expert speakers here today, and also they're both our partners. But the best is I let them introduce themselves. So let's start with you, Katerina, if you just introduce yourself real quick and yeah, say a couple of words who you are.
Right. Good afternoon, or whatever time of the day it is, wherever you are located. I'm Kat. I'm from IQ and IT. I'm a lead assessor for Cyber Essentials, and we partner with Ninja to deliver cybersecurity and IT for our clients.
Awesome. Yeah, I can see the chat. Be active in the chat. So this is absolutely supposed to be a very interactive webinar. And yeah, say where you're from. I can see we are a very international community also, which is beautiful. So not only UK people, but if you ever want to do business with the UK or with UK in the UK with UK companies, this is still very valuable knowledge for you. All right, let's move on with you, Drew. If you can
Yeah,
introduce
hi,
yourself.
hi, yes, I'm Drew. I'm from here in Kilner. We're a law firm in Newcastle, in England. I'm a service desk manager there. For our use of Ninja is we're an internal IT department. So I use NinjaOne myself to manage our own sort of infrastructure and to help me with the Cyber Essentials certification, filling out that form that you have to fill out. And yet I have to say as well, I really like that they were saying everybody's international. We've even got somebody from the North Pole apparently. So hi, Ian from the North Pole.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super nice that you're with us again, Drew. Actually, Drew has been with us since when are you a Ninja partner? Since like 2, 3 years?
2 years now. It's been 2
Yeah,
years.
2 years. Yeah, she's actually very active in our community, and she joined us on our roadshow in London as well, and she participated in the panel discussion. And yeah, it's always a big pleasure to work with you, Drew. All right.
Shout out to the Discord.
And the Discord, exactly.
Yeah.
The Discord is fantastic. So for everyone who doesn't know the Discord yet, it's our Discord channel where you can discuss all kinds of technical questions and scripts, etc. All right, let's move on without further ado. Just a couple of housekeeping items. So this webinar obviously will be recorded. So we will send the recording to all the participants. We will also publish it on YouTube, so you will have the chance to watch it again, or if you ever didn't have the chance to join today, you can watch it later. And yeah, we already said it. Please ask your questions, be active in the chat. We are super happy about that. And if you have any technical questions, it would be really nice if you can ask those technical questions in the Q&A section. So there's a dedicated Q&A section, and then it's easier for us to follow up and so on. And even if we get a lot of questions, it's easier for us to answer them later after the webinar as well, if we don't have the time to go through all of them. Yes, here is the agenda. I'm just gonna, for those who don't know Ninja yet, I'm gonna do a quick introduction, who we are in the beginning, not lose too much time on that. Then we will move on with Katrina, who will give her, who will share her expertise and make a little impulse presentation on the topic of Cyber Essentials. Then we will have Drew share her experience with Ninja and also her experience with Cyber Essentials. So actually, she started with Ninja and then got Cyber Essential certified. We will do a little technical demo. I will do that. And we will look at different features in Ninja that help you be compliant and get that certification easier. We will leave some time for Q&A. We'll try to answer questions also on the fly during the webinar, but have some time at the end as well. And then And that's the most fun part. We will have our Wheel of Fortune. Again, people that have joined a couple of webinars have seen that maybe already. So today we have 2 gift cards to win for $100 each. So 2 people can win. So stay until the end. This is a precondition. You must be present at the time of the, how do you say that? The announcement of the winner. Exactly. All right, just quickly about NinjaOne. So we are a SaaS company, a cloud-based endpoint management solution founded in 2013, and here in Europe present since 2018. And when I started actually in 2018, so quite a while ago, at that time we were 1,500 customers. Now we're 25,000 plus customers. So that's actually really crazy. And yeah, our slogan, our motto is automate the hardest parts of IT, simplify IT management, and make endpoint management easier and more accessible for a broader audience of technicians. This is a quick overview of our platform. We're going to dive deeper later on. The core part is the endpoint management, patch management, software deployment, monitoring, alerting, and reporting, automation with pre-built scripts, with your own scripts. And then obviously all the important operating systems are managed: Windows, Mac, Linux, and now since last year, Android and iOS, even Raspberry Pi now. So that's quite exciting for some manufacturing companies, for example, Hyper-V, VMware, and network devices as well. Then we have integrated remote access. We have our own proprietary backup tool. We are really active also in ITSM, having our own ticketing, having our documentation, warranty tracking, and now even our PSA in early access. And then integrations with leading cybersecurity solutions such as CrowdStrike or SentinelOne. Yeah, and actually, why is just a couple of interesting key figures here before we jump into Katrina's presentation. Unmanaged endpoints are actually a huge risk, and this is also why these compliance frameworks always talk about that and are getting more and more widespread and more important. First of all, the number of endpoints is growing, right? And then if your endpoints are not managed, so they're lacking, they're lacking patches, they're lacking secure configurations, they're lacking proper malware protection, and so on. They actually 90% of successful ransomware attacks originate on such an unmanaged device. So they are a real threat, and this is also why endpoint management is so important. And then end of last year, I found actually a really interesting report. I mean, it said very often that the human is the weakest part in cybersecurity and so on, which is certainly very, very true. But for example, mTrend, this is a company that belongs to Google Cloud, a cybersecurity company. And for example, in their investigations, so in their data, based on their investigations, actually exploits are in 38% of the cases the initial infection vector for intrusions. And only after that, 17% are phishing. So I thought that's quite interesting. Obviously, there are always different reports, and phishing is always is also often at the top. But again, patching is a super important topic, also important topic for Cyber Essentials. Yeah, just wanted to have this as a little introduction. And now I pass it on to you, Katrina, to tell us more about Cyber Essentials, please.
Thank you. So I'll just share my screen. Right, so welcome again, everyone, all the way around the world. So obviously, what I'm going to cover is Cyber Essentials and also Cyber Essentials Plus. So let's have a view of, yeah. Right, that's a correct slide. So the Cyber Essentials standard is basically government-backed. NCSE, which is the National Cybersecurity Centre, is who created that scheme, and it is currently delivered by IASME. So IASME works with partners like us, who are certification bodies, to deliver the standards, assess the applications. What you basically get as part of the certification is obviously building up the customer trust, looking at sort of what the common threats are, how you can protect your environment, and it gives you a very sort of clear instructions of what to do. It has 5 controls to help you approach and protect it. So just keep in mind that Cyber Essentials' primary focus is the threat coming from the internet. So that's what it's focusing on. And obviously patch management is one of the key things in there, showing that all devices are patched within 14 days for any security weaknesses. So that's one of the more key things. Obviously making sure you've got firewalls, you've got software firewalls, physical firewalls for your environment, and secure configuration, making sure that applications which aren't required are uninstalled. You have a set of applications which are approved across devices, mobile devices. You've got user access control, so assuring that users have the minimum access required to do their job, rather than sort of allowing everyone to have access to everything, which then mitigates if a user gets breached, then there is a limitation to what they have access to, rather than you breach any user within the company, you get access to everything if everyone has access to everything. Obviously, malware protection is key as well. So protecting against those vulnerabilities and stuff coming from the internet. It's a standard for any company around the world. So quite often, being a lead assessor, I assess companies outside UK. The main difference between a UK company or a company domicile in the UK is that Cyber Essentials comes with cybersecurity insurance. And if the company isn't domiciled in UK, unfortunately that won't be granted. So after completing the self-assessment, company will get up to £20,000 cyber insurance. I believe it's £241, and you can increase that cover up to 200,000. So I think that's very much worth it. And the insurance company which is providing that is the current partner. It's called Sutcliffe. So anyone who currently holds Cyber Essentials or is looking forward to obtaining it, I would suggest that you contact them and extend the cover. It's always worth it. Here is differences between Cyber Essentials and Cyber Essentials Plus. So Cyber Essentials Plus is basically an audit on your Cyber Essentials self-certification. It must be completed within 3 months of your Cyber Essentials certification. So as soon as you pass it, just make sure that you've got everything in place to also be assessed for Cyber Essentials Plus. So the process is your answers will be verified. There'll be a percentage of your devices which will be tested and scanned for vulnerabilities to confirm that your self-certification is correct. It is a very good way to have an external professional confirm that you haven't missed something. And cybersecurity is obviously a constant moving environment. So I think it's a brilliant opportunity. And the costs of that are very, very good compared to other standards and other assessments. So I would definitely recommend that to everyone to undergo. The challenges we come across as a sort of managed service partner to our clients, obviously we take it as our duty to protect them from cyber threats. And one of the key components is RMM. And we are extremely careful who we choose our partners to be. Supply chain attacks are growing day by day, and we have had that in the past where RMM has got breached and IT companies' clients have been attacked. So we are very careful and choose our suppliers and move away from suppliers who no longer meet our strict requirements. So we chose Ninja as our partners, and we are very happy and looking forward to continue our work with you guys. The sort of key component of RMM is obviously asset tracking, as York has mentioned. It's crucial in cybersecurity in general, not just for Cyber Essentials. You are required to track your assets for things like ISO 27001 and other sort of compliance requirements. Ninja RMM is great to track devices. What we do for our clients is we deploy Ninja for any new device using Intune, and then once the device is enrolled, based on obviously which client is, as a managed service partner, we work with a range of businesses and their requirements vary. So we have different series of scripts which get fired as soon as the device gets enrolled to bring the device up to date and to the correct specification. On top of that, we also use Halo automation to trigger account creations based on the user role. So it's a very important part of cybersecurity in general, and obviously required by Cyber Essentials that user roles and access are restricted. So we grant the minimal access required. We also remove admin rights. So it's one of those sort of compliance checks within Ninja. And we have whitelisting for certain admin accounts, which might have a business case for having that account locally. And obviously it needs to be an individual account, and other accounts get automatically removed if somehow they get created, or by default they are there. Any software requirements for the end user to deploy, again, based on what their role might be, or based on which company it's for, certain software gets deployed. Security software such as Huntress, which we use, which is an endpoint management, gets deployed, and unnecessary software gets removed. Compliance such as sort of AV or BitLocker, although BitLocker is not part of Cyber Essentials, I think is very, very crucial. So we have a custom field to store BitLocker key in Ninja. It speeds up the time it takes the engineer to obtain it if it's necessary. Instead of logging into Intune for the client, it's much quicker to go to Ninja and obtain it from the custom field, which is protected by 2FA code, so you can't just see it. If you're in Ninja, you have to enter your 2FA to obtain that to gain access to that field. The other part of Ninja RMM is keeping records of what has been executed on the endpoint devices. Obviously, if there is a cyber incident, it's very important to see what has happened, who's interacted with the device. So very good for tracking. We've been in a business for 15 years, and we've seen just about everything, including two companies who've once in their owners have retired, decided they no longer needed our services, which is absolutely fine. However, within a couple of weeks, both of them were breached and came running back to us for protection. So what I'll say is always prioritize business IT security. However, don't forget about your personal protection. So if you are retiring or changing industry or whatever, cyber criminals do love the low-hanging fruit, and they'll try and attack where they can. So I would sort of finish off on cyber criminals. Don't believe in retirement, so stay vigilant and don't retire your security. So thank you. And as a little treat, I have added Cyber Essentials and 3 hours of expert consultation discount, which will be available over the next couple of days for everyone who's attending the webinar. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I think that's a great opportunity. So scan the QR codes, and Katrina really has, she's an auditor actually, and her company is, how many projects did you already lead on Cyber Essentials? Do you have like a rough number in mind?
Hundreds?
Yeah,
That's
I can
good point. I
imagine.
should probably try and count them.
Yeah, and actually the interesting thing is also that she works quite often in international setups, right? Where companies from the US or from Germany, you know, that are doing business in the UK want to get certified. So she has that experience, and I think that's very valuable. And also considering the international audience that we have today, I think it's definitely worth mentioning here. We have one question in the Q&R. Can you show us examples of how you have Ninja, Intune, Halo set up? Yeah, we will look into Ninja. The Halo, that's going to be a bit too much, I think, for today.
Yeah,
but,
that is a very complex setup, and we have a automation engineer. So this is also some of the things we can deliver for clients is delivering automations and utilizing the tools. So please feel free to get in touch.
Yeah, and we also have through CyberJam, we have like this possibility for MSPs to integrate Ninja with Intune at the moment. For example, this is something where I would recommend to get in touch with a Ninja product specialist, etc. This is also, Andrew, for you. This is something that we can definitely set up with one of our solution engineers later on. Same goes for Halo. If someone is interested in a deep dive in a technical demo of Halo, we can also provide that with our solution engineering team. All right, let's move on to Drew. Actually, Drew has an interesting story from my point of view, and it ticks a lot of boxes and confirms a lot of the things that Katrina already explained. And there's also a human touch a little bit that I found quite amusing. So she works in a law firm, which brings some challenges also from the human management. So let's dive into your story, Drew, and see how you managed to get that Cyber Essentials certification.
So I've changed, somebody said in the chat that my microphone wasn't very good, so I've changed it now to use my laptop rather than my AirPods. I'm hoping that's okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, just with these AirPods. I promise they're genuine, but I'm a bit muffled. I think that must just be the laptop, sorry. Also, I do have quite a strong accent. But,
no worries, we love your accent.
Thank you. So yes, as York said, I work in a law firm. And we need to have Cyber Essentials for one of our accreditations we have, which is Electel accreditation. We need that to be able to take on legal aid cases. Not all of our business is focused on legal aid, but we're a full service firm, so we want to be able to support people that need legal aid cases, and they don't just want to give, the government don't want to give anybody the money. You do have to prove you are a secure business. So that's why we have Cyber Essentials. So Ninja, it handles our OS and software patching. I've got schedules running on it. I can trust Ninja not to disturb my lawyers too much as well, because they don't like being annoyed. You know, the human element, that they're very particular. Love them though, but they're very particular. But I can trust Ninja to do it without interrupting my people too much, and just to get the updates actually installed. Whenever there's something wrong with an update, which mostly is if somebody doesn't restart the laptop when they're supposed to. You know, I do have pop-ups appear, and not Cyber Essentials requirement to restart your laptop, but you need to restart it to get your patching applied. When people don't restart the laptops, obviously patching can't get applied, but that's really visible to me on the NinjaOne dashboard and to my tech, so we can go and, you know, I work in it's a mid-sized firm, so I can speak to people and see, you know, sort yourself out. You need to restart your laptop. In terms of software, so yes, Ninja also does the software patching for me. Cyber Essentials do separate out. They've got office applications and email applications as two separate categories that you need to list what you have on your devices. But I can just click on the NinjaOne dashboard. I can literally click the inventories, then software, and I can see what I have deployed across all of my devices. So I can easily get that information to answer that Cyber Essentials question. Cyber Essentials, you also shouldn't have any software that's not used or vulnerable. Again, I can easily click, you know, 3 buttons on Ninja and uninstall software that's not needed anymore. That is only though if the software supports silent uninstall, so that's downloaded the software, not with Ninja that, but for the most part, I just press a button and I can get rid of things that we shouldn't have anymore, or are sort of insecure and don't have, maybe the vendor's not updating it. I do get other inventories as well, so it gives me the OS versions, like I said, it gives me software. The data's live as well. Like Cyber Essentials, it's really important to have like up-to-date information when you are completing the report. Katrina had on her slide the real-time monitoring, real-time data. I trust Ninja. It actually, I can see specific details about sort of processes running on devices. I can see exactly what's happening on device, and I know the inventories there are 100% accurate. So that's for software, OS versions, and also for mobile devices. So mobile devices is a category that are in scope on Cyber Essentials, and that's something I can see through Ninja, because we've now got the mobile device management. There's a few things Cyber Essentials want you to do in terms of secure config of devices, so like disabling auto run. And that's so easy to do on Ninja. There is a script you can just import from the library, but I don't even need to worry about doing that. Whenever I have a device that enrolls on Ninja, through a policy I have set up, it gets that script run, so I don't even need to worry about that. Ninja also allows easy access to PowerShell, so I can live PowerShell on devices, obviously if it supports PowerShell, and I can remove unused user accounts. I've got a script as well running on a regular basis that tells me what local account on my computers, and it reports that information into a custom field for me, and I have alert conditions set up on that, so I can see if there's an account that shouldn't be on there, because remember, you need to monitor local accounts and you need to make sure that any unused ones aren't on a device. Ninja is doing that automatically for me. We did have Cyber Essentials before we had Ninja, but it's just so much easier now that I can get the information all in one platform. My interest in story was that more about my my software issues that I have, that I use my custom fields, and because I mentioned it about I was on one of the automation webinars last year, and that's not totally a Cyber Essentials story, because we have this legal software that's not the easiest to update. But NinjaOne, the reason we wanted Ninja is I had software that was really hard to update, and Ninja just lets me do it. I'd recommend watching, I think it was the ITX Age of Automation webinar. I had a full-on use case of Ninja for that. I think it was a 2023 one. But yeah, I think what I've said though, it looked a lot better in the demo.
But isn't it so? But I think that's it's a specific case, but it happens. For example, here in Germany, I've heard that also quite often in the public sector, or in legal or medical health sector, where there might be some legacy application that cannot be discontinued, and then like it kind of like if you don't have like a good patching process, that can either like disturb your patching a lot, or it's extra work because you need to create an exception and so on. And I think these old legacy applications, they can have vulnerabilities that no one knows about. And even in the German media, there's a very famous case of this municipality that got hacked by some probably Russian hackers, and that was one of the issues. They had this old kind of application that they also exploited. So even like in your case, maybe I think like from that perspective, it would be still relevant for Cyber Essentials, right? Or
Yeah. Well, it wasn't vulnerable in the sense that it didn't have any vulnerabilities reported, but it was still needed an update for the software. The software that we use though, I don't. When London, when we were in London together, York, I was speaking to somebody there, and he discussed his similar experiences that he's had with sort of legal software, where they don't package it up together. Like I literally have individual DLL files that I've got to deploy to users' computers, and the vendor's recommendation is to have a single server where all your devices will connect to and get the update files from. But that's not really suitable if your organization starts to scale. I do appreciate though a lot of law firms, a lot of software is more in the cloud now, the software as a service, but there are still a lot of companies, a lot of software that is still sort of on-prem.
Yeah, I think especially maybe in the mid-market environment, a bit like you are, right? With like 200 endpoints or 180, 250. I think in this environment, you can still see this quite regularly.
Yeah, there's a few questions in the Q&A I can answer.
Yeah,
Somebody asked
absolutely.
about third-party patching. Can you only remove software deployed through Ninja? No, the software inventory on Ninja is everything that is installed on the device. So it picks up everything, which is, you do need to declare everything to Cyber Essentials. So I can see all of that information on there, and I can remove software on there that wasn't deployed through Ninja. And Ninja does support third-party patching. There's some software that's native to Ninja and some that uses Winget, although I'm not sure if Winget is, I think you have to speak to your account manager to get that enabled, but Ninja does, to answer that, yes, does do third-party patching.
Yeah, actually Winget is I think it's going GA with 8.0, if I remember correctly. So 8.0 rolls out in EMEA on March 11, so in 5 days. Yeah, so this is going quite. Whose question did you answer? Sorry, I just want to mark that.
I think I've marked it now. I think
You marked it yourself?
Yeah,
okay. Thank you. Perfect.
So. Yeah, there's another question about how does Ninja manage Microsoft patches. This is actually really interesting. So I think one of the new features in 7.0 was the AI analysis, patch analysis. I'm not sure if you'll be able to show that in your demo, York. But
yeah, I will show that.
You don't have to automatically approve all of the patches on your Windows devices. You can go into sort of pending, where you can look at them as an administrator and say, do I want those to be approved or not? But it's got a really good field now where it gives you a sort of a summary of what people on the internet think about the patch, if it's breaking, devices. It's on the NinjaOne platform. It shows you that and helps you decide if you want to install that or not.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, actually, maybe let's jump here into Ninja for 10-15 minutes. I can show a couple of things. So there are 5 technical controls, right, in in Cyber Essentials. So firewall, secure configurations, like asset management, software management, right? Software and update management, I mean. User management and malware management, right? I think Katrina confirmed that also. Ninja will be most helpful for the asset management. So building that asset inventory, that asset overview for the patch, the software management and the patch and vulnerability management. And then also using Ninja's automations can be also very, very useful. So here's the dashboard of Ninja. I know we have several already existing partners here on the webinar. Just briefly, that's how we're gonna make a change the dashboard actually. So we already have that in closed beta, but at the moment that's how it looks like. You have your general device also and your customer list on the left hand, and this obviously is here the real-time monitoring. So if you have, for example, have a failed patch, like a failed OS patch or a failed third-party patch, this will appear as a red or as a yellow alert, and you can easily obviously dig deeper and click and then investigate what's going on. This is also an overview that you have here, for example. This is the patching dashboard where really you only see information relating to patch, where you can also set filters. You want to only for Windows, for specific device roles, etc. How many devices are actually in Ninja's patch management? What are the top devices with pending patches, approved or pending patches, or with failed patches? So this is a quick overview. It's clickable also, so it brings you fast to the devices that need your attention. And yeah, another useful thing that you can see here in the main dashboard in Ninja is the vulnerability integration, or currently it's called vulnerability importer. And I know that Drew is actually using that. So she uses Windows Defender and actually imports it into Ninja. She does that manually at the moment, but this will be also something that will be possible to automate in the future. So this is something we're working on. But for example, here obviously you have the vulnerabilities, you have very detailed information, but also Ninja by default will also offer information on this type of on the CVEs, on the CVSS scores. So you can see this here. This is the list of all pending patches. So these patches you will have to approve or reject them here. So this is based on the policy configuration that you did in Ninja. And you can obviously have that automated, but here it's on a manual configuration. So you need to approve here specific patches or reject them exactly. And for example, what Drew also mentioned is, so here's this KB analysis feature. Yeah, at the moment there are no no features here with, but this is the AI part where Ninja will crawl the web and see if there are any information relating to that patch. For example, is it stable? Is there issues? So here, when I filter for Windows, I find something. I can see here what comes out from that AI crawl. You get general sentiment. You get also links if there are any interesting links to Microsoft support website or something. Ninja will provide this here as well. So this is something that is a useful tool that helps you also to find your way around faster in the patching process. And this is also, it represents also our philosophy regarding AI. So at the moment, we really see AI as a smart assistant, but we don't want AI yet to intervene and do things automatically. So we have this philosophy, but we're keep on obviously developing more features in that direction as well. Yeah, and then sorry, actually, what is also I think very interesting and useful here is the software inventory. So you have a list of all your software applications across all operating systems, and with the version, the software name, obviously here, the link to the devices with that specific software. So I can also go ahead here and select the software and uninstall it from here. This is the main dashboard level, so this will uninstall across all my organizations, but I can drill down into an individual organization and then also delete from there. The uninstall works provided that the software application supports silent uninstall. So just as a side note. So for example, on antivirus solutions, this would not work. There you need a bit more like stronger tools, like a removal script or something along those lines. So you can also have this as a report. There are like plenty of ways how you can work with this software inventory and with the information that you have from that software inventory. One thing that is also, I think, very, very useful is the automations that Ninja offers. So obviously one part is the possibility to deploy software. So we have the pre-built scripts for Windows and Mac, where you can upload MSI files or DMG or for the respective files for Mac. You can add helper files. You can add pre and post scripts. So like automations that will run right before the deployment or right after the deployment. And in that way, you can build packages. But we also have winget, as already mentioned, and we also have our own application library. But yeah, if you, for example, if I set here a filter, one second, where is it? Oh no, type, sorry. Install application. So here you can really add as many packages, like even put the icon, then it looks nicer, and then use these packages and automations within policies, for example. And then you also have the template library. There are all sorts of interesting scripts. One thing I know that Drew does that. We discussed this, is the possibility. Right now, sorry, this is here. Is the possibility to rotate local admin accounts, admin like the passwords, and this is actually a script that is not in the template library yet. It's from our script share community, yeah. From the dojo, exactly.
Yeah, the dojo.
But actually, I have the link here at hand, so we can have a look at that. Yeah, but this is actually something you use that, right, Drew? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got that from Ninja, and basically the script will create automatically a local admin account if there is none, set a password, and if there's already an account with a password, then it will change the password based on a specific logic like password length and complexity and so on. And you can run that script, for example, once a week or once a month or whatever your security need is. And then you have these rotating passwords, so much secure. And yeah, it's very easy to set up, and yeah, makes obviously a useful feature. And then there's also all kinds of other security relevant scripts, for example, disable old protocols like SMB or disable PowerShell 2.0, right? So we have many scripts. So you can see here at the moment 268, but the number is really growing. Last year we started our own scripting team And then we have also people like Luke Whitelock who love scripting and who add a lot of very useful scripts to the template library. And you can use them in the policies. Actually, and in the policies, you will be able to do the patch management. So let's focus on patch management, since this is very important for Cyber Essentials. So all your devices, or the devices you have attached to a policy, will be governed by this policy, right? And then you set the patching here. Ninja takes, so this is obviously recommended here. Ninja takes full control. You can also just have Windows Update do its own patching if you want to, but here Ninja takes full control of the patching, and you have very many different very useful features here. For example, one important requirement is to have the patches rolled out within 14 days, right? So what you can do here, basically, you set your approvals, security update approvals, and approvals of the other patch categories. And you can set a rule here. So you can actually get the best of both worlds, where you approve automatically after 7 days. And this is actually based on the release date of the patch, right? Not the detection of Ninja, but the release date of the patch. So you can say 7 days or 14 days, and then you have it automatically approved. It will run automatically, so set and forget, but you will still have that time lapse that allows you to see if there is any issue, you know. And here, for example, the sentiment and AI analysis will be useful, because when the sentiment AI analysis will tell you an issue, then you will still have that time the time window to maybe set a rule and do a patch override, you know. So you can centrally, either in the policy or also at the general level, you can set a rule to block a specific KB number or a specific patch ID. So I think this is really useful. You get the best of both worlds. You can push security, you can set and forget, you can prioritize critical updates. There's actually another possibility here that is related to that, is you can here set alerts, right? So you have that time window, let's say 7 or 14 days for the automatic approval. And then you can set an alert, for example, for the very critical updates. Let's say, so highly critical 9, so CVSS score 9 or higher based on the NIST framework. You can set that alert. And this is something really cool that I'm super excited about. It comes out with 8.0, is the capability. So we will have a native script in Ninja that allows you to trigger a patch scan or a patch deploy. So basically I can add here the script. So I don't have it here yet, because we will have to wait for 8.0, which comes out in 5 days in Europe. And then I detect that alert, the CVSS score. I run the script and deploy the critical patch immediately. And I think that's really, really great to have this combination with the settings that you have here in your general patching policy. So you can be quick on the critical updates. You can set and forget on the rest of the updates. And then you can use the patch sentiment analysis. You can set exceptions. So this is the Windows patching. By the way, the next update of NinjaOne, so the next version 8.0, brings a lot of improvements to patching. There will be also CVSS scores for third-party applications, for example. So really on the patching side, super big release that is coming up now. And then here you have the software patching. So you have two sources. and if I remember correctly, I'm not 100% sure now, but I think WinGet goes into GA now in 8.0. Maybe Luke, you can write that in the Whitelock, if you're present, you can write it in the chat if you know. But yeah, so basically you have the Ninja source. So this is our own application library. And then you have WinGet, which is obviously the Microsoft tool that you already know, and you can leverage that through Ninja. And I think at the moment we have, I don't remember the exact amount, but in WinGet we have 6,000, a bit more than 6,000 applications that you can then roll out through Ninja. Yeah, so that's obviously also an important part. Then, yeah, I mean, the malware protection, I'm not going to go into detail here, but yeah, here you can go directly into your SentinelOne dashboard, for example, roll out malware here. So EPP and EDR, so not just the signature-based antivirus, so you can automatically deploy that through Ninja. And then, yeah, you can basically you can then create reports based on for your patch management. You can create alerts also. There's another patching alert that I forgot to mention here, is the last installed, right? So if there's a pending patch somewhere and it's pending for 7 days plus, then you get alerted, for example. And then you can actually here use Ninja Engine only. If you really, if you manage entirely with Ninja, this is a useful option here. Yes, then maybe I think there are already some questions. Where's the Q&A?
Do you wanna go over the dashboard and where you see various different devices which don't have patches applied or have any other issues?
Yeah. So yeah, this is the main dashboard. So I showed that in the beginning. I don't know if you saw, but here you have the overview of the pending patches. So based on the policy, if you have your approval mechanism on pending, then they will appear here in this list. If it's on automatic approval, also approval after a certain number of days, it will appear here in this list, and so on, right? Here you can also see again the sentiment analysis. So here for this cumulative update, we have known issues. Again, you can dig into that. Yeah, you even have different languages to consume that in a different language. And yeah, and then you can build all kinds of rules. For example, here I have the EMEA environment. If you want to create like ad hoc, if you want to run an ad hoc action, you want to set an ad hoc filter, you can do that very easily here. And then, for example, if you want to roll out that additional local admin user everywhere, I just need to know. You can basically create like an ad hoc search. I'm just copying that here, and then have like all those all the devices that don't have that local admin user, for example. So let me just, local admin passwords. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, and then for example, you could go here and run that script, rotate local admin password, and then create that account and yeah, it's super easy to use the automation that way ad hoc, or you can do that through the policy as well. Okay, so actually, yeah, we need to speed up a little bit, maybe take 1 or 2 questions. Okay, so there's a specific question from Paul Wells about the NIST2 requirement. I don't know the NIST2, the NIST framework that well. So we have a privacy team, Paul. So this is we have it here in the Q&A, so we can pass that question on to our privacy team. And but typically, Ninja is definitely also a helpful tool for the NIST framework, for sure. Then one more question here from Damien Foley. Can Ninja reliably report on all users online, including log on, log off dates and times? Yeah, so there are filters also here in this device overview, this device grid that you can use. So you can set here filter, I think, for logged on users, for example. I think there's also a filter for last logon, etc. So this searches for a specific user. Second, last up, but yeah, this is definitely possible. You just need to put the right filters, then you can mark the devices, and you can actually save them as a group, and then you can run automations on the group actually. Yeah. So one more question. Let's take one more question from Markus Winhöfer. Is there any plans to integrate a native vulnerability scanner? Currently, only imports are supported. Do you plan on showing CVE and CVSS score for missing software patches, like ActionOne does? Yeah, definitely. We have an ambitious roadmap concerning vulnerabilities within Ninja directly. So detecting vulnerabilities or like showing the CVE numbers, the CVSS scores across the board, across all kinds of devices and applications. Then we will also work on the integration. So in the next release, actually, the integration with vulnerability scanners such as Rapid7 or Tenable, etc., like these dedicated vulnerability scanners. This will be automated, and yeah, so it won't be like this importer anymore. So we're definitely working on that, Marcos. Yeah, so let's move on to the most fun part, to the last part. There are still a couple of questions. We will answer them later on. And we will ask the account managers to reach out to you with the answers. But let's actually run the wheel of fortune here to see who is winning the $100 gift cards. So I see a couple of people left. So for those who are still there, please stay so you can participate here. Do we have Milos? I think we will probably have to run a couple of times. Can you write in the chat if you're there? Already. I'm just checking. No, Milos wasn't there. So we have Christian Lino. On the last webinar, I had a hit on the first spin. This time, all right, let me remove him actually. So bear with us for 1 or 2 more minutes if you want to win the $100 the $100 gift cards. Keyshore. Okay. Yeah. So today we need to spin a bit more often. So James, I think it's James here. James sent him. Ah. Okay. All right, I need to spin again. Paul Richards. Oh, I think I know Paul. Is Paul here? Also not here. Okay. All right. I think maybe today there's a lot of spins necessary. So if you have 1 or 2 more minutes patience, otherwise we will do the announcement via email. Torsten, I think Torsten, I saw him earlier. Did he leave already? He left already. Okay, bad luck. I saw him earlier. Ask a question. All right, so sorry. I think before we start spinning here for too long, we will do the raffle after the webinar and then contact the people who won. And yeah, thanks a lot, Katrina. Thanks a lot, Drew. Any final words on compliance, on how you did the job with Ninja?
I would say sort of stay safe, and there's lots of new features which will help further with staying compliant coming out with in Ninja's updates. So yeah, I think there's lots to look forward to.
Awesome. All right. And you, Drew, one last word.
No, I'm laughing at the all the chat about the spinning the wheel now.
Yeah, last time I had it on the first spin, so it's always a gamble. It's always a gamble, but I like gambling, so that's why I like to stick to the wheel of fortune.
Yeah.
All right. Again, super nice that you guys participated, and thanks for everyone for joining tonight. I hope you learned something about Cyber Essentials. Stay tuned for the next webinar. We're looking forward to welcoming you there as well. You will get all the follow-up and the winners as well. And looking forward to work with you, Drew and Katrina as well. And have a nice evening, everyone, or more day.
You too.
Cheers. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks. Goodbye.
Bye.